Hello everyone. What I'd like to do in this video here is show you why the log rules are true, or I want to prove these rules to you. And really what I hope to show you is that really these log rules are just a direct consequence of our exponent rules. So let's discover these. Let's figure out why these are true. So let's go ahead and do the first log rule, or at least try to show you how people even came up with these log rules. So, for example, let's say we have log base b of m, and let's say we also have, or n, doesn't matter which one we start with, n, and let's say we also have log base b of m. Okay. Okay. Let's just call these something. Let's give them a name. Let's say this first one here is x. So log base b of n, it's some value, we'll call it x. Log base b of m, it's some value, we'll call it y. Well, I guess, though, for us who are maybe trying to discover these for the first time, maybe thinking to ourselves, maybe I'm not too comfortable with working with logarithms, so let's switch it into exponential form. What is this saying? This is saying b, x equaling log base b of n is the same thing as saying as b to the x is equal to n. Equivalently over here, this is saying the same thing as b to the y equals m. It's like, b to what power gives you m? Well, I'm saying that b, I'm calling it y. B to the y is equal to m. It's like the y is my box here, and the x is that box here. Okay, cool. So now what are we going to do with these? Well, the only thing I can think to really do with these is let's try multiplying them together. So what if we took n and multiplied it by m? Because I know how to multiply exponents together. I know rules for that. So what if we multiply these together? Well, this will be the same thing as b to the x times b to the y. Okay, this is something we're more comfortable with because we know how to deal with exponents. We know if we have like bases and we multiply, if we have two exponentials and we multiply them together, if the exponentials have a like basis, we can add their exponents. So we have that n times m is equivalent to b to the x plus y. Okay? Okay? Well, this is something in exponential form. I have a base of b. Why don't we switch it now back to log form? This is saying b, we're saying log base b. This is the same thing as saying b to, this would be like saying b to what power gives you n times m? Well, that would be equal to x plus y. Log base b of n times m is equal to x plus y. Exponential form, then we just switched it back to log form. Okay, well, what is x and y? What are x and y? So we have that log base b of n times m. Well, x is the same thing as log base b of n. I'm running out of room here. Plus my y is log base b of m. And there we have it. The proof of our first log rule. Look, notice here that it was a direct consequence. It was a direct consequence of the first exponent rule. And there we have it, our first log rule. Let's do number 2. We're going to solve number 2. We're going to prove number 2 in a very similar fashion. Okay, why is the second rule true? We're pretty much going to do almost the same exact exercise. Okay, we have log base b of n, log base b of m. This is equal to x, this is equal to y. In this case here, I want to know what happens when we divide. So maybe take a second and see if you can convince yourself or prove log rule 2 from here on your own. Okay. Let's do it. Well, what happens when we divide these? What would be the same thing as n divided by m? Well, that would be b to the x over b to the y. Now I have something in an exponential form, and we know how to work with exponents. There's a rule here that says that n over m is the same thing as b to the x minus y. Well, we can now switch this into log form. This is the same thing as saying that log base b of n over m is equal to x minus y. So we have that log base b of n over m is equal to, well, this would be log base b of n minus log base b of m. And there we have it, our second log rule. Notice here that this came directly, this is a direct consequence of us, this is a direct consequence of our second exponent rule. Since when we divide, division for exponents corresponds to subtraction, division with logs corresponds to subtraction. This is a direct consequence of our second exponent rule. And there we have it. One more. We got one more to prove. The star of the show, log rule 3. Log rule 3. Let's prove that one. Okay. So, let's say we have log base b of n, and we'll call this x. Okay, so we're just going to start with this one here. We're trying to prove number 3, the third log rule. Okay, so what this says is that b to the x is equal to n. All we've done here is we've just switched from logarithmic form to exponential form. These are equivalent statements. Well, what are we going to do with this? Well, I would like to kind of understand how an n to the power of m works. So I'm going to raise these both to the power of m. And let's see what happens here. So we'll raise these both to the power of m. Okay, so what are we going to get here? Well, this is the same thing. These multiply. This will be b to the x times m. This is exponent rule 3 is equal to n to the m. Okay, what to do from here? Now we have something in exponential form. Let's switch it to logarithmic form. What does this say using logarithms? This says that log base b of n to the power of m is equivalent to x times m. But how about instead of x times m, order of multiplication doesn't matter. I can flip-flop these. This is the same thing as m times x. So here we have that log base b of n to the m, okay, is equal to m times x. Well, what was x? Oh yeah, x was log base b of n. Log base b of n. And there we have it, log rule 3. And notice here, it was really a direct consequence of our third exponent rule. From us going from here to here, we use an exponent rule. We just swapped that back into log form, and it told us the corresponding log rule. So what I hope to have convinced you of here is really that exponent rules, what I'm really hope to convince you here is that log rules are really just a direct consequence of our exponent rules. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video, and the next one, we're going to be getting a little bit more practice with working with log rules. We'll see you there. Take care.